All right, this is an article from IGN. I just saw this last
Yeah,
night.
this is big.
This is huge. PlayStation buys Evo Fighting Game Championship Series, announces 2021 event dates. Nintendo comments. So let's kind of go over what this article says here. Okay. Um. All right. There's actually a. We can read this. There we go.
Okay.
So this is a message from Evo. Evo would not be possible without the collective passion and collaboration of the fighting game community, and we're deeply grateful for your dedication over the past 25 years. That's a long time. Um, we know last year was challenging due to the pandemic and the circumstances surrounding the cancellation of Evo Online, involving a former team member who has been completely separated from our company. We want to reaffirm that harassment or abuse of any kind has no place within Evo or any of our future events. And we're taking every precaution to make sure members of our community will always be treated with the respect, dignity, and decency you deserve. In order to deliver on the trust you have all put in Evo, we realize that we need an experienced strategic partner who truly respects the spirit of the FGC. This is why we're excited to announce that Evo has become part of the joint partnership of Sony Interactive Entertainment and RTS. I don't know what RTS is.
Neither do I.
Um,
Real-time strategy?
yeah, real time strategy, StarCraft. Uh, the new partnership is committed to bringing amazing tournaments and competitive gaming experiences back to you this year and beyond. We're thrilled to work with the teams at PlayStation and RTS to bring you EVO 2021 online this August. More information on the event will follow. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your continued support, Tony and Tom Cannon. So, for those that don't know, the Cannon brothers are the ones who founded Evo. So it looks like they were the ones that made the partnership with Sony and RTS. Um, and let's look at here. So this is from PlayStation. Today we're today we're thrilled to announce the next chapter in the story of PlayStation and Evo, the world's largest and longest running fighting game tournament. Sony says in a blog post detailing the acquisition. For PlayStation's today's announcement marks an exciting step in a journey to foster the growth of the fighting game community and esports and support competitive gamers widely on our consoles, says PlayStation. Fighting games are hugely popular on PlayStation consoles. Yes, they are. I will confirm that. With gamers
Also,
logging more than
Street Fighter
1.1
5
billion gameplay
is an
hours in
example.
2021. What's up? What'd you say?
Street Fighter 5 is an example.
Your mic is very quiet.
Street Fighter 5 is an example.
Oh yes, yes, Street Fighter 5. All right, so now that we covered the article, um, let me kind of like give people like a quick update about what happened with Evo. Um, their CEO, Mr. Wizard, um, he was accused of some kind of like sexual harassment or sexual assault or something like that, and he was removed from the company, or he stepped down, but he was basically removed from the company. And then because of the whole pandemic, they kept pushing back the date last year, and then finally they just canceled the whole thing. And then it ended with him stepping down. So it was just like people. I remember covering this. People just felt gutted because we were like, we were worried that it wasn't going to come back. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
was like two major defeats. So to see this, yes, it's a step away from the grassroots organizing that it was, and a step more towards a corporate esports. But that being said, um, if there's any gaming company to do it with, it's definitely Sony. It would be, I would say, it would be Sony or Capcom. Now, Sony has worked with Capcom to keep Street Fighter alive, and that's why Sony had a big hand
A
in
stake in it.
yeah, and a big stake in Street Fighter Five. So obviously they do care about the fighting game community and they do want to see it moving forward. Um, and I know a lot of people are going to say, the Mike Ross types are going to say like, this isn't the fighting game community. This is a corporation now. Well, Evo had been headed towards that direction for a while. Um,
Doesn't make it right.
yeah. Well, I don't think it's right or wrong. I just think they're trying to do what they think is best for the Evo tournament, honestly.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't think this is good or bad. I just think it's a different direction, and I hope it's going to work out good. And I hope that this first tournament with the partnership of Sony is going to turn out well. So I'm being optimistic here. How do you feel about it?
I'm actually kind of ambivalent.
Okay.
I don't really follow Evo like you do.
Yeah.
I know you're very passionate about it. You make time for it. I actually only catch maybe the highlights.
Yes. Like the top
And
8.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, again, it can be good and bad. I'm it really depends on the on what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Like we'll see. We'll see. I think people shouldn't just clutch their pearls just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How? I mean, you have kind of your finger on the pulse of the fighting game
Yeah.
community. How are they taking it?
So so in there it said PlayStation is a big home to the fighting game community. Now a company could just say that, right?
Yeah, but also like that could mean a couple of things. It doesn't mean like, oh yes, people flock to PlayStation because they're home for it. It's more like they are the hub. They have the games for it,
Mhm.
or like especially in the case of like something like Street Fighter Five. It's
Yes.
and in terms of accessibility, because PlayStation just sells more consoles comparatively to something like Xbox for fighting games.
Yes. And
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, they're the home, but aren't they like kind of like the default home?
Um I would say yes and no. They have done like I said, their partnership with Capcom to keep Street Fighter alive.
Yes.
That to me is going above and beyond, right? To help the fighting game community. Um but if you ask a lot of fighting game players which system they play their fighting games on, they're
Yes.
going to say PlayStation
Yeah.
or they're going to say PC. But if you go to a tournament, it's PlayStation. It's just
Yeah.
easier to, move the
Much
consoles
easier.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
And
right.
that and Xbox doesn't have the same kind of rapport in Japan, and a lot of the fighting games that we talk about are Japanese.
Yeah, most of the anime fighters all go to PlayStation.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're starting to now bridge the gap with PC, and you're seeing a lot of good fighting games go to PC now.
Yes.
But like I said, tournament wise, it's not as viable as PlayStation. So also what I see in this is maybe this is like, look, if you're a tournament organizer and you're hosting a tournament, imagine the costs of buying 1,000 PlayStation 5s. You know what I mean? Or even how to get them.
I was about to say
Yeah, how
you're gonna
you
have to
gonna
get through scalpers or
yeah,
something.
how you even gonna get them? So now this is gonna be an online tournament, so I don't think it's gonna be a big issue this time. But next year around this partnership with Sony, that's also gonna make it easier for Evolution to get these consoles. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So that's also a logistical benefit they're gonna have as well with this change. So yeah, I say let's wait and see how the tournament works.
Yeah.
If it's too
I-
corporate, it's not going to work with the FGC because they're very grassroots. Like I said, there's a lot of humor. There's there's a lot of
Well,
unconventional
what
humor.
was I don't recall, maybe I missed it, but what was Nintendo's comment? It said
Oh
Nintendo
yeah, yeah.
comments.
So yeah, I wanted to cover that last because it's up for interpretation. So let's go over that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know that's not good. All right. So this is Nintendo's comment after hearing this. Nintendo has enjoyed engaging with fans at past EVO tournaments and wish to show organizers the best with their new venture. We will continue to assess EVO and other opportunities as we plan for future online and offline Super Smash Bros. Tournament activity, a spokesperson for Nintendo said. All right. Now, one of my friends read that as, yeah, we're done with Evo. You know what I mean? Because Nintendo is very veiled with their negative.
Threats.
Yeah, yeah,
They've got Nintendo Ninjas.
yeah,
We already know about that.
yeah. And we've seen how they've gone after other tournament organizers who, in my opinion, did nothing wrong. They already own the physical games. They already own the consoles. I don't think they did anything wrong. But yeah, so I saw it as,
We're gonna start our own thing. We're gonna have a Smash tournament, and that's it.
yeah,
Well, I mean, that does raise the question as to what games, if they're going to throttle, what games can be allowed to be played at Evo
mhm.
now. Like only games that can also be played on Sony. It's like no console exclusive games. Like what? I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't think
Well,
Evo.
except for Sony exclusives,
Yeah,
obviously.
I don't think Evo would have agreed to that a deal if they would have limited the
Hey
games.
man, when you start becoming corporate, a lot of
Yeah,
things change.
but I don't think there's any way in hell they're going to get away with just doing PlayStation games. I honestly don't think that's going to work. If they do that, mark my words, if they do that, that'll be the downfall of Evo.
His words have been marked.
Yeah, it will. It will be the downfall of Evo because people like to play games on, like for example, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That people played that on Xbox. Why?
Because
Because
it's better
Xbox, it was
on
faster.
Xbox.
It had less lag
Yeah,
than the PlayStation 3 version. So if you see them do that, the tournament players, they're just going to go to another tournament. Mark my words. Mark my words. So
I mean, this does present a hole where another grassroots tournament can take place. So
yeah,
there's always that. There's
yeah.
always something else that can be made.
And there's a bunch of them. I mean, I would say the two big ones besides Evo are like, or there's a couple big ones. There's NEC, there's a Final Round, and there's CEO. CEO is probably the biggest. So yeah, there are competitors to Evo. Don't get it twisted. And if Evo shows any bit of weakness, something will pop up during that time frame, and the hardcore people will go to that one. They won't go to Evo.
Fair.
Yeah. So this is not a this is not a done deal for Sony and Evo. Like they have to actually work with the fighting game community, or it's going to be a flop, for sure, for sure.